Hi everyone, I'm filming this as a help video for the Youth Justice Centre's simulators that you have from us. And we're here at our office in Brisbane where we assemble various simulators. Got some very different ones to the ones that you have here, but I'm going to run you through some of the troubleshooting things because some of you, when you received the simulator, you weren't employed or in that division and didn't undertake any of the initial user training. So we already have some help videos which are on all the simulators, but I'm just filming this to give you some instructions. So on the back of the simulator frame, you have a power button, and what you can't see underneath the seat is that you have a tower case sitting in here, a computer sitting in here, and you know, this power button, then that's how you'd start the computer under here. And then hidden out of sight is all the cords running up through the simulator frame to keep them secure from your clients. Now, bolted in here is the computer, and all the ports are accessible through here, where the side panel can be removed to access the computer that sits in here. So when you've turned on your simulator, the power will fire up and you're going to see the steering wheel will spin, and this is a calibration process as the computer starts up. So if that doesn't happen, it's your first warning sign that something could be amiss. Now this is a slightly newer simulator to steering wheel system to yours, but it has a PS3, PS4 button around the back here and PC, and so it has to be to PC and yours needs to be to the right, and this light needs to be green. If people start playing and while the simulator is running, changing it to PS3, PS4 mode, it can wipe all the settings in the simulator and all this, how every button and system is set up for controlling the software. So anyway, as said, it needs to be in PC mode and the light needs to be green. I'm not 100% sure, it's a few years ago. Yours may not have exactly the same look. Now, this screen here is plugged into the steering wheel and pedals. Ignore the simulator frame. But if we go to the Windows search bar and we go and type in USB game controllers, and this will start filling in for you in a moment. Set up USB game controllers. You're going to then get this menu, this screen come up. Now this is detecting that the steering wheel, gear lever and pedals are plugged into the computer, and they plug in via USB ports. They need to be in USB 2s, the ones with the blue tongues. So if that wasn't the case, you could open your simulator frame and take off the side panels and make sure both USBs are plugged into the computer that's underneath the seat on the Youth Justice simulators, and make sure it's plugged into USB 2 ports. All right, so back to the screen here. If we light up, that's the racing wheel, and if we go to properties, let's have a look. And it opens up this Thrustmaster branded panel, and that means the software is working correctly. And you can turn the steering wheel and you'll see it turn on the screen. You can move the pedals and you'll see them move. You can press all the buttons on the steering wheel and you'll see everything work. So it's the test screen that everything works. You can actually go in here and change what's called the firmware or the hardware and calibrate the steering wheel, the force feedback, and everything is there. Now, you might go to this racing wheel, hit properties, but the screen that lights up may not be branded Thrustmaster. It may look a bit more like this one, like a Windows default screen. Now this is the correct screen for the gear shift, and you can move the gear lever around. So if I change to different gears, you'll see lights light up there. I'm a long way away, sorry about that. But yeah, the lights are lighting up, registering that the gear shifter is working. I left it in gear 1 and it's working. But if you went to the Thrustmaster racing wheel and went to properties, I've got to close this, but remember what that looks like, rather generic. And if you go to Thrustmaster here and go to properties and it doesn't light up with that Thrustmaster branded screen, there's a problem with the hardware driver. And so you will find, and we can send you this and you can take it to the simulator via a USB if necessary. On this particular computer in downloads, we have this file TTRS, which is Thrustmaster, and we click on that and select yes, and then it's going to ask us if we want to uninstall the software. So we'll go through that process. It's going to uninstall everything and it will delete it all. And then, this driver program is downloadable from the Thrustmaster website as well, global website. It's a user driver. So I've just deleted that, so it won't work now at all. But if I then, so I clicked on it to delete it. Now I go back and click on it and load it up again. It's going to install the software. Now what I need to do is take out the USBs that were running that steering wheel and pedals, because it needs to load the software and not detect anything. I need to sign the license agreement, yes. Click yes to everything, accept everything. And in a moment it's going to be finished here. And then it says, please connect all your Thrustmaster products you want to install. And then when you're ready, restart. So I'm going to plug these back into the USB 2s. It's going to receive power and start up. And then I'm going to, now that they're installed, click finish. It's going to restart the computer. All right, so the computer restarted and I signed into it. And when it was doing its restart, the steering wheel spun. We have that green light over here. And now the software, I've done the USB game controllers and that's what's detected. They're plugged into the computer. Reminder, your computer will be accessed through the side panel. And yeah, if we go to racing wheel and go to properties, fingers crossed, it's opening up again with the branded page, so everything is working correctly. Now, if I go here and start the simulator software, city car driving, let me just do something temporarily and click on that. I get this problem screen come up, and this warning is that the security key for the software is missing. So this purple, what looks like a USB, is the licensed version of the software. So again, it'll be in the side panel, in the computer, in one of the USB ports. It doesn't have to be in a USB 2, it can be a USB 1. But this is the $4,000 licensed copy of the software that supports triple screens and allows the simulator to work without internet connection. And so if it's giving that warning, this key is missing, and that could be that it's missing, it's fallen out, or it's slightly pulled out of the USB port. So you'll be putting that into the back of your computer. Ignore me putting it into the top of this one. Much different simulator, very basic one. All right, so if I double click on this again, and then the software opens up. Now, the big mistake people make here when they haven't done any product training with us is they just start driving. So they find that this list of menu items come up and driving's the first one. And so they attempt to drive in the simulator. You see driving's the first one. Recordings, profiles, statistics, settings. So the mistake you'd make is you'd go in here, select a vehicle, select roads. So there's various tasks you can do, or you choose free driving. And we have software videos on this that you can watch. Just an overview, you can select the car, whatever. Select if it's manual or automatic. Some of them are locked in as one type only. All right, Ford Falcon, auto or manual. And then you click on some roads and some weather and some traffic and where do you want to drive in the virtual world, which is this huge virtual city. And then you click start. But what you've wrongly done is just gone straight driving and you haven't chosen the profile of the driver. Up here, this profile in the top left corner of the screen says it's an auto driver. So everything here, buttons and controls, the gear stick, is set up as per these laminated maps we've supplied you with, and it's set up as an auto. So for an automatic only driver. And if you chose a manual vehicle, car with manual gearbox, you're not going to be able to drive it. And you're going to blame the simulator as problems or something when it's actually user error. So you go back to main menu here, profile, and we can send you these files, but I'll talk about that in a moment. But we have the master ones, and the master ones are set when we supplied the simulator to how we've set up. Everything can be adjusted and changed. We have a video about how to do that. So everything can be changed, but automatic, do not change, and manual were the original masters, where everything should be not changed or altered from originally supplied. So what you do is you could create a new driver, put your name in, John, which driving region are you in? So you're going to be in Australia, and you're going to copy the profile from like the master, automatic, do not change. Now that limits John, and you could call it John Auto, and then make another one John Manual, and so on and so forth for different names. But that limits this driver has to be an automatic, has to choose an automatic vehicle. Click new, John now goes on the list. We then have selected John, and we select. Then we can go in and choose driving, and see John doesn't say auto because we didn't name John an auto, but we chose an auto profile, and we need to make sure we choose an automatic vehicle. Now, when you get that up and running, you'll see, as per this map, that drive or park is in first gear's position, and neutral's in second gear's position, drive is in third, fourth doesn't do anything, next gear and previous gear, and reverse. So it can be driven as an auto. You can actually go into the software and drive vehicles as clutchless manuals as well. So you can actually change gears, but it will never stall, or you can be in a full manual, but you have to choose the profile that matches that. The other mistake we make is then, like most automatics, you have to be in park, which is in first gear's position. You have to have your foot on the brake to change gears. So you'd be ready to drive, you'll start the engine, turn off the handbrake. You'll have to watch other videos from us about that. And you'll have to have your foot on the brake to start the engine, keep your foot on the brake to come out of park, like so many vehicles have, and move it to drive, which is in gear 3 position. So that's another common reason why people can't get the simulator driving. Now in this particular simulator, your Windows desktop will be a bit different, but we've got documents here, and I've got backup of Thrustmaster settings, and we can email this file to you. It's rather small, 1.4 megabytes, and that profiles.db3 is the master of everything set up as per the map, as per what I just showed you in the video: automatic, do not change, auto driver, manual do not change. And then you take that file, and so that's somewhere on your computer of your simulator, but we can send it to you again. And here we go to Documents, Forward Development folder, City Car Driving Enterprise Edition, and then you see profiles.db3, and that's the current profile settings of the simulator as you'd be driving it. That could be corrupted, may not be working. So if you drop that master file, profiles.db3, and overwrite this one, then start the software, everything will be reset and working as per the maps and as per the settings. All right, now if you're in the software, and we've got a whole video on this, so I'm just going to give you an overview. Software loading up. And you enter Profiles, and you selected John, for example. You select John, and then you go to Settings, and then you go to Controls. Everything that we're under John's profile, this only changes John, not the master. Everything here in this list is adjustable. These are all the controls of the simulator. When the simulator software is written by company A, they don't know what pedals and gear stick you're buying from company B, so they can't set it. You've got to calibrate it or teach it what you want it to do. So here I double click on acceleration, it goes blank, and then if I hit the accelerator pedal, it then locks in what I want to be acceleration. I could double click that and I can press the letter M, for example, and then the letter M is now locked in. If I want to accelerate while John's driving, I have to hold M on the keyboard. So everything is adjustable. And we earlier looked at how you could adjust steering wheel and pedals. If I've gone into the advanced settings here, you can see the accelerator, and this is the software calibration of things. Sorry, that's set to M, so mistake I've made here, hang on. Back, acceleration, teach it what I want it to be, double click on it, press the accelerator pedal. Forgive me trying to look around and juggle things here. And then if I press the accelerator pedal again, you can see as I squeeze it on, that fills up. I can introduce a dead zone linearity, and this does the same for brake. And so I can adjust the software and calibrate how sensitive the steering is. So if I turn this, you're going to see the steering move. And so I can go back to that USB game controllers on the Windows desktop and change the firmware for the hardware, or I can go into the software and change the calibration of how the software reads the steering wheel and pedals. Also, another reason your pedals may not be working and controller may not be working, one of your clients might have got into the software and changed what's controlling everything. So we've got the control unit as a steering wheel. Remember, company A built the software, company B built the steering wheel we bought, but someone might be trying to drive this simulator via a mouse or a joystick or a gamepad. So you need to make sure that's on steering wheel, and the Thrustmaster is the steering wheel that you have on your simulator, TMX Pro. So if that was set to something different, again, another reason why the simulator may not be working correctly. Unfortunately, it's software built for a variety of applications, and globally there's so many different steering wheel and pedals and ways people might use the simulator software. So in summary, the master profiles are set as per the map we originally supplied, and if they're not, you can drop the db3 folder, profiles.db3 file into where it needs to be. It'll reset everything. But when you then create a new driver, a new profile, off one of the masters, Jane, we're copying, we're going to drive in Australia, and we're going to make Jane a manual driver. So we're going to choose manual, do not change, is what we're copying all the settings. So that just locks all the settings into, and we don't have to go in and double click and teach the software what to do when Jane's driving. She'll just be copied over from there. But then Jane finds that she doesn't like when driving the simulator, or a broken hand or something, or a disability. We could go into the settings for Jane and rechange, and we're only changing Jane, what does what in this long list of controls. So if you want to ever see how do I do something in the software while driving, so there's the simulations going on the screens, you can press escape. Escape will open up a menu. You can go to settings, and you can then change or see what does what. What for an instructor, you can make a tire puncher or do all of these function dangerous driving scenarios that you can set up. Drunk driving being drive under the influence of alcohol, F6. Remember, F6 is function F6, not just press F6. Function F6 makes these things change. But my point is, as long as steering wheel's set there, Thrustmaster's set there, it spins on startup, the light's on, it's in the correct mode on the side, and you've gone to USB game controllers and the steering wheel is detecting correctly and the software is loaded correctly, you can go in and change any of the settings as to what does what in the simulation software.